Hey guys, welcome back to Bonsai. It's me, your old Uncle Pinky, and another beautiful day here at the Barbie Dream Shop, where we are once again working on the paint job for our wide-body turbo Miata project car. In our last episode, we were wet sanding the epoxy primer to get the car ready for our top coats, and kind of alluded to, a little surprise, we're changing the color of the car. I'm as surprised as you are. Honestly, we were going to just throw another coat of Mazda Brilliant Silver, the original silver, on the car. But then once we opened the can up and looked at it, it's a little too, it's happy. It's a happy color, and that's great. It's a beautiful, bright silver. But honestly, it's a little boring. It's a little bit just kind of plain. And so, you know, when I started building this car, you know, again, if you're just jumping in now, essentially what we did is we took a 99 Miata shell and we built what I feel like, you know, when the engineers at Mazda were tasked with building a factory turbo Miata, I think they had a certain thing in mind, right? But one thing that life will teach you is that inspiration, passion, dies in committee. And so what we got was a couple of years, a year and a half, of an interesting Miata. It's a nice car, you know, factory turbo, and I love the drivetrain, and that's why we use the drivetrain, but otherwise, kind of just a Miata, right? I think the engineers, if left unfettered, would have built something much more wild. Perhaps something like this. So, one call that they did make that I really like was the titanium color that they chose for the MazdaSpeed cars. And so I wanted to do something like the titanium, but I didn't want to use the original titanium because, one, that's kind of stupid, and two, I already had 2 quarts of the OG Brilliant Silver. So what we did was we dumped 2 quarts of a Chrysler color called Brilliant Black, which is kind of like a black, but it's got like a, not really rainbow, that sounds like a little too lowrider, but like iridescent metal flakes in it. So we dumped 2 quarts of that into 2 quarts of Brilliant Silver, and what we ended up with was a really terrific, very elegant sort of gray that still, I think, in the sun is going to have sort of a little wild touches to it. You know, I think the lighter color, the original silver, we would have lost a lot of the kind of curves and kind of sexiness that we have in the car now, where a darker color will really kind of show, you know, her flanks a little bit. So I'm all about showing the flanks. So anyway, that's what we did. So, okay, because we're changing the color of the car, obviously we have to paint our door jambs, we have to paint, you know, inside the trunk, inside the hood, all that stuff. We're not gonna paint the engine compartment because we'd have to literally pull the motor out to do that. But I think that since half of the paint color that's going on there is the original color, I don't think it's gonna look too clashy. You know, it's not like we're taking a green car, painting it red and leaving the engine compartment green. Right. So anyway, we had to, you know, clean and prep, you know, basically degrease and then sand out all of the jams. And then we went ahead and shot those with our new top coat and clear coat in advance of shooting the whole car. So that basically looks like this. All right, so there you go. Spray day one, done. Jams are all done. Under the hood is done. Everything looks great. In our next episode, we're going to do the top coat, the whole car, and we're actually going to reassemble it and take a look at what it is that we've created here. So as always, thanks for your interest in our projects and for supporting the channel. If you take a second, like, comment, share, subscribe, send me a message. YouTube loves it when you guys interact with the channel, and I do too. So see you next episode.